Friends, it is my great pleasure, honour and responsibility to give the 26th United Nations Conference of the Parties the warmest of our famous welcomes to the city of Glasgow. I'm extremely grateful to everyone who has worked in partnership with us as the host city to get us here to this point. If this post-industrial city, still living with the legacies of our high-carbon past, can have a plan for net zero by 2030, then there should be no limit on your ambitions either. Glasgow couldn't be prouder of being the host for this pivotal moment for the future of the planet that we all share. Once again, welcome to Glasgow.
Friends, it's an honour to speak to you today for the first time as COP President. But let me start first by formally welcoming you to Glasgow. And I want to thank you for all your efforts in getting to the United Kingdom, which I know for some has been arduous due to the impacts of the pandemic. Friends, in each of our countries, we are seeing the devastating impact of a changing climate. Floods, cyclones, wildfires, record temperatures. And we know that our shared planet is changing for the worse. And we know that the window to keep 1.5 degrees within reach is closing. The rapidly changing climate is sounding an alarm to the world to step up on adaptation, to address loss and damage, and to act now to keep 1.5 alive.
Even though I'm not required to attend summits like this anymore, old habits die hard. And when the issue at hand is the health of our planet and the world our children and our grandchildren will inherit, then you will have a hard time keeping me away. Meaningful progress has been made since Paris. And the agreements made here in Glasgow, thanks to so many of you, including my friend John Kerry, here in Glasgow, we see the promise of further progress. So, Paris showed the world that progress is possible, created a framework. Important work was done there, and important work has been done here. Here in Glasgow, nations have also committed to help poor countries move away from fossil fuels and deal with the effects of climate change. There are times where I am doubtful that humanity can get its act together before it's too late. We can't afford hopelessness. Instead, we are going to have to muster the will and the passion and the activism of citizens pushing governments, companies, and everyone else to meet this challenge. People who organize and educated others in their communities, people who put pressure on businesses and governments to do better, people who turn their passion into votes. And what's also true around the world, true in the US, true in all the countries represented here, is that the most important energy in this movement is coming from young people. 2 years ago, a Swedish teenager named Greta Thunberg inspired millions of people to join the largest climate demonstrations in decades. Protests are necessary to raise awareness. So to all the young people out there, as well as those of you who consider yourselves young at heart, I want you to stay angry, but channel that anger, harness that frustration, because that's what's required to meet this challenge.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us just how devastating a global cross-border threat can be. Climate change and biodiversity loss are no different. I know you all carry a heavy burden on your shoulders, and you do not need me to tell you that the eyes and hopes of the world are upon you, because time has quite literally run out. So I can only urge you, as the world's decision makers, to find practical ways of overcoming differences so we can all get down to work together to rescue this precious planet and save the threatened future of our young people.
Today, those who've done the least to cause this problem are being the hardest hit. Ultimately, all of us will feel the impact, some of which are now unavoidable. Perhaps the fact that the people most affected by climate change are no longer some imagined future generation, but young people alive today, perhaps that will give us the impetus we need to rewrite our story, to turn this tragedy into a triumph. We are, after all, the greatest problem solvers to have ever existed on Earth. We must use this opportunity to create a more equal world. And our motivation should not be fear, but hope.
Hear us, feel us, hear. These singers, it is so touching to me to hear, this is real Scotland. And being here, I've been here 24 hours, I feel like this is where anybody in the world has not been to Scotland, this is where you need to be. Because the warm, caring group of people, and I've been all over the world, I've never seen anything like it.